Okay, this is the Halltech Stinger RZ installation video. And I'm going to start off by showing the engine bay prep that we've already done. And you'll notice here the gold foil. This can be aluminum, or you can actually put this gold foil on the airbox itself. The primary function is to provide a little bit of heat barrier to the airbox, which comes pretty close to this radiator hose. So what we do is we actually lift this hose up and push it this way as we zip tie it right here. And what that does is it provides about 1/4 of an inch clearance to the bottom of the airbox. The other thing that we do is this line here. We provide this 5/16 hose, and you'll have to cut off the hose, the hard line that looks something like this. You'll use a box cutter, you'll cut it off here, and you'll cut it off here, and replace that hard plastic with our 5/16 rubber hose. And it's probably a good idea to keep your MAF sensor plug out of the way. And then this line here, this is a short hose. It's too long, so we cut it down by about 5-6 inches off of it. This total length is about 7 inches, and it could be a little bit shorter, but that seems to work for us. So you're going to cut it off here in a section off. Then you plug it back into the T. This line here needs nothing done to it except to zip tie it here, and we zip tie it over here. You want to make sure that this line does not touch the alternator or the pulley, because even if it's just touching it, over time it will rub and probably bring a hole into the radiator system, so you want to keep it away from that. The other thing that we do is this line here. This is your headlight cable. We unplug that from here and here, and what that does, it gives us some clearance at the bottom. So this is just pushed down out of the way. The very end of the airbox will touch the very bottom of this shock right here, but as you close the hood, this will move away from everything. So it makes minor contact, but it doesn't cause any issues. So that's pretty much the entire engine bay preparation, which I guess you could do ahead of time if you wanted to. It's really up to you. But once that's done, then here is the rest of the installation, and I'll take you through it. First of all, if you have the screws in here and at the bottom, you want to take those out. We're no longer using those. These are drill points in the mold, so they'll show up, but your seal that goes around here will cover that up. So once those are out, this becomes a free floating system, and it makes things a lot nicer in terms of the engine torque. We don't want it rigid, so that's why we did that. Okay, so both the bolts have to be tightened. I put a little bit of pressure down on this side. Oh, and by the way, I did put that seal that we provide along the top here and on the bottom. That helps to give you a little better seal, because this box is totally fully sealed. And then the PCB line gets plugged in under the bottom. And then last but not least, the mass airflow sensor. You plug this back in and then re-engage the security tab. That way it won't come out. You check everything out, and I could show you here that the radiator hose is about 1/4 of an inch away from the airbox. Everything else is fine. You check your lines, make sure they're not crimped, and that's pretty much the end of the install.